Hello everybody and welcome to Flying Toasters, also a very inconspicuous and normal ALTTP Randomizer Tournament 2022 edition. I am Main DM. I am joined alongside on the call this evening by my buddy and sometimes teammate, Mr. Ed. Ed, how you doing this evening?
I am doing quite alright. I'm really looking forward to this matchup that we have here between Yoinkerswife and Deepfried87 in a mode that we have here that is, why is that there? In which we're going to be wondering ourselves, why is that there? Really looking forward to this race and looking forward to hopefully entertaining the masses for people that like to see good old memes.
Yep, good old-fashioned meme mode. This one ought to be fun. We've got a couple of relative newcomers to the scene. We've got some really old rando hands in this tournament, but Yoinkerswife and Deepfried a little more recently on the rando scene here, so it's always nice to be able to feature not just the names that you've come to know and love, but a handful of newer players as well.
Absolutely. And we are off, and we get ourselves a lamp in Link's house, which is, I believe, one of the preset locations as far as why is that there?
That is, in fact, a vanilla location for the lamp. There are 3 vanilla locations for the lamp. I'm not sure how the layout for this mode goes about handling that in the grand scheme of things, since it's the only item in the game, question mark, as far as why items and whatnot that has multiple locations like that. But, neither here nor there, we have it, and that's good enough for the start.
I like it, and I already like the fact that we already have some divergence with Yoinkerswife going ahead and doing the uncle start, and Deepfried is going to go ahead and get himself a hooligan, get 225 rupees, get himself set for supplies and etc. I believe that was just a bottle and 50 bucks on Yoinkerswife's side here with Uncle, and it looks like we're going to go ahead and get a tree pull here. Maybe. Maybe not.
I think what's happening here is we're going to set up for a tier 2 or 3 tree pull. It's going to be a tier 2 tree pull now.
Yep.
As long as Yoinkerswife wants to commit to it.
I like the commitment. I do have to commend that. There you go. Throw the bushes. Guards can't handle.
Your guards can't handle the bushes. But Deepfried seems to have his own ideas about the early game here, has just a handful of bombs, and says, you know what, I'm gonna go over here and have a quick look in Sawhouse Closet.
Now, let's put something here. Yoinkerswife does not have any weapon. So we're going to challenge this blue guard with a lamp.
Still does not have any weapon, so just making that first check and deciding, alright, well, I can go ahead and nope out now.
I like that. I've seen that chest. I've seen that single chest being very, very trolly to people. So nice to just kind of get it out of the way.
Yeah, and it's not entirely unlikely, or certainly not impossible, for that to be something like a hammer, or a sword, or any number of other things. Even a Canis Amaria would have seen Yoinkerswife on at least to the next chest in the sequence. Tier 2 tree pull there, single rupees, or was tier 1 single rupees and I just didn't pay close enough attention earlier?
I did not pay close enough attention either. I was actually trying to work on some technical issues because, you know, I am nothing more than a living, breathing meme. I think I am hopefully better. I think I got confirmation that I'm better. So, hey, perfect. I did something right for once. All right, back to the action here. I noticed Deepfried here is in Eastern Palace, and Yoinkers is going to Lost Woods. trying to tangle with the what? Now what is that? Just not the murder dactyl. That's the dark world one. What is?
It's just a crow.
Just a crow. There we go. That's a fancy name. I like that.
Not
So
the most exciting thieves drop down there, I don't think.
No, not at all. Not at all. It is worth noting, and we'll hit on it in certain aspects here, with part of the fun parts of this mode of why is that there. There is guaranteed bow lock bow. So seeing that we have deep fried in here, the bow. A possible bow location could actually be behind Armos Knights, could actually be in the bow lock section of Pod, and could also be in the GT Climb. So it would be actually pretty ironic if there happened to be a bow here that's available for Deep Fried, and then possibly one for Armos Knights. That would be pretty hilarious to see both bows here, but that would be too big of a meme, I think, at this point.
And there still is a bit of a question. We haven't seen Dark World yet. Pod could be a pendant as well, in which case then you really have to start wondering, well, where am I supposed to go looking for one of these things?
Just mimic clip your way to victory. Deep Fried's gotta be a little careful here. We're gonna bomb the enemies here, as we don't have enough health to be able to get this. I'm gonna reset the room here, get some pots. Excellent move here. That's great game knowledge right there.
Yoinkerswife, meanwhile, is going to continue grabbing anything and everything out of the Kakariko village area. Looks like there's a bottle on her side and also the ether medallion, but there's still not a whole lot that would have changed Deep Fried's current ongoing situation. Oh, hey, the big key to this dungeon. Surprise, surprise. In its vanilla location, nonetheless.
Uh-oh. Are we gonna abuse chickens? Oh, the chicken's trying to pierce through. Oh, that's a good meme there. I like that.
Yeah, it's a fun one until you chicken glitch yourself, and then you start wondering, well, was it really worth it?
That's right. And on Deep Fried's side, on the Eastern Palace Big Chest, was our first glove. Excellent find there for Deep Fried there.
One glove, pretty good. The lamp making it a nice logical little bit of progression.
You know, when I saw this mode and I saw the definition, basically telling us the fact that the lamp is going to be pretty much readily accessible in one of, I don't know, was it like 3 locations? It always made me fearful of, you know what, it's basically going to be an Agaseed every time, because that's just how my mindset works. If I see a lamp, it's like, oh boy, we got Aga every time. But at least we don't have swords yet, or let alone a cape, so we're still a ways away from that possibility.
Imagine having swords. I'm involved in this in some capacity, Ed. Come on now.
That is true.
It's either all swords within the first 10 minutes, or no swords for the first hour and 10 minutes. One of the two. Nothing in between.
I'm going to introduce myself.
Yes, hello.
Hello. So I'm Lady Lorlinda, and I am tracking on my own just to kind of help everybody stay up to date. And one of the things you haven't mentioned is that there is a moon pearl in the library.
Oh.
Ed, I missed something.
I did miss something. Well, what a shock. It's just like me when I actually run a regular seed. There's a lot of things I miss, hence me last locating.
If it's not a little green square on my tracker, it doesn't exist, right? That's how this works?
That's basically how it is, yeah. So with that great knowledge from Lady Laura Linda, which even without formally tracking, she's here still to correct us because she is that good. We would assume that boots are going to be in the relative near future, but not a guarantee.
Well, you would have to think one of those scoutable locations has to be available eventually, right?
I mean, what would I mean? We've already seen Lost Woods. We have Zora's Ledge. We have Desert Ledge. This stuff in the light world, being as where the boots could be at. It could be. Well, no. I mean,
Does Pyramid
logically,
Ledge count as a scoutable location?
it does actually. Yes, it does. It would be in this case.
Well,
And I did
again, no
mention
swords yet, so we probably don't have to worry about it, right?
I don't. I did mention that every time I see a lamp, I concern myself with Agus, so I might have just jinxed these runners here. So hashtag blame Ed.
It's probably just up on the mountain. The glove and the lamp gets you up the mountain, and then in Whatchamadoodle Cave there, you'll have your boots. That'll be easy. Easy game.
I like your names from the item locations. Whatchamadoodle Cave.
Well,
it is.
I'm
not
sitting
on
here
Desert
looking
Ledge.
at the screen through my glasses, and I think, what do you call glasses? It's not Glasses Cave. It's something else. Monocle Cave. Monocle Cave. There we go. There's only one entrance, so it's Monocle Cave. That'll work.
That's right. Yoinkers might be taking a look to see what is on Lake Hylia Island. We have ourselves 20 bucks. As Deepfried's going to go ahead and do everything that Yoinkers has done earlier, which really did not amount to much at all. I know that Ether was in here, and thanks to Laura Linda, because both of us are blind, I guess. We do know that Moon Pearl's on the library. Other than that, I don't believe CAC had much of anything.
But that's fine. There are other options. It's early days yet, and the seed has to break open eventually.
I believe this might be our first look into Mini Moldorm Cave. Forgot if Deepfried went ahead and did this already.
He did not.
He did not. Look at that. See? Lady Laura Linda coming in the clutch. Thank you again. You're going to be hearing that a lot from me today.
At least one of us is good at this.
Oh, yeah. Moldorms are not
This is
nice,
what I
though.
always worry about when it comes time to break out the bombs for Bomb Mini Moldorm, and yeah, that's unfortunately kind of pinned in the corner there. Yoinkerswife is going to have spent 4 bombs and some time and not really received anything for it.
Yoinkers did get something out of it. Probably a little bit of aggravation with possibly a little laugh, as far as to say, why are these mini Moldorms here? Because, again, we're playing the mode of why is that there?
Why isn't the hookshot in my inventory? Why isn't that here? It would be convenient.
Why is that there is a mode that's great in regards to finding the items, and then as you play the game, I ask myself, why am I not in go mode yet? That center mini Moldorm is just playing cruel and unusual jokes on her right now.
Yeah, it feels like if you cannot catch that one early, it becomes really a problem. And now the second one has decided to wiggle its way on over. Oh my.
Oh my goodness, really? Oh.
Why is that mini Moldorm there? You're not supposed to be there. You're supposed to be on the left-hand side.
Yeah, exactly. this is. This is very cumbersome for me. Yeah, that's right. There you go. Nice. All right, we only have what, 2 bombs left here?
Two
So we
bombs
gotta be
left,
very
so
careful.
1 per. Need to have a little cooperation here
there
from
we
the
go.
Moldorms.
Oh, 1 for 1. Here we go. Coming to the clutch. Nicely done. Get a hammer for our troubles. And a nice heart refill.
Timely heart refill, the hammer, pretty much the star of the show there, though.
Now we're gonna see if Deepfried's gonna have better mini Moldorm pattern here. Of course, that center one was mightily cooperative for him.
Oh, of course it was.
Yeah, I mean,
Why would it not be?
yeah.
Yoinkerswife going to replenish that bomb stack at the cost of another 50 rupees. The cash money has not been the most convenient thing in the early game.
Yeah, it just really has been a very surprisingly slow developing seed here so far. No swords. I mean, we do have, on Deepfried's side, we do have logical access to at least save the old man on the mountain. But we really can't do much more than that, aside from that, and taking a look at Spectacle, aka Monocle Rock. So yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll be able to get something here going on here. And it also is worth noting that one of the items I have not seen yet is the Ice Rod. We're starting to run out of Sphere 1 locations. Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
Speaking
never
of the
mind.
devil, and it's vanilla location.
That's a Sphere 1 location, alright. Oh, the Tower of Hera big key was in Saha's closet. Look at that.
Ooh.
Which is
correct me if I'm wrong.
probably fine. Our runners don't have access to Tower of Hera yet.
Right. And correct me if I'm wrong, mind him. I believe there are, is it four big keys that are randomized in the game?
The 4 technically non-required big keys: Hera, Skullwood, Swamp Palace, and Ice Palace. The
That
rest
is
of them
correct.
are all in their true vanilla locations. Pretty sure true vanilla locations.
Is it? Yeah. It's in their vanilla dungeons, that much I know. Yeah, it says they remain in their own dungeon.
Ah, vanilla dungeons, okay. This is why we have commands, because even I don't remember all of these things.
Deepfried is going to go ahead and give us a look further into Escape.
Oh, and I suppose, shout-outs in order to the fact that, thanks to everybody coming in and supporting all of the qualifier fight nights and the first ever restream of the group stage, the AVIANART channel did wind up hitting affiliate, LOLOL, and thank you, Oro and Royale with Cheese, for coming in on the very first day of affiliate status for the tournament's official Twitch channel.
I think the whole AVIANART crew here has showed a blueprint for anybody that's interested in how to become affiliate as soon as possible. Well, just run a tournament, have restreams, have a great community that is interested in memes, and boom, done. Simple.
Speaking of boom done simple, did you see what Deepfried just got in Zelda?
I missed that. What was it?
That was a bow.
A bow. Man, I really hope that there's a second bow on Armos Knights at this point. Not 100% certain if there is an item left in Eastern Palace.
That sounds like another Lady Lorelinda question to me.
Oh, I'm telling you, Lady Lorelinda is going to be the MVP.
I don't have the answer because I only wrote down the piece of heart and the Eastern Palace big key. I think there is another item.
Ooh, the bow on Armos Knights is a dream come true. Get him done and over with, out of the way. It is
If you
becoming
really
more
want to
and
go
more
all that far into a pendant dungeon.
Yeah, but it is becoming more and more likely there might be something there. Only because we are starting to run out of locations here. And at some point we're going to either have to get those boots for Dark World access, or even flippers. Flippers would put Zora's Ledge into logic. Again, still
Or get a
for...
mirror or a hook shot and start traversing the mountain to find one of the things we're still looking for. That's starting to feel a little more likely at this point.
I'm just
Not
hoping
guaranteed,
for progression. Yoinker is going to find her progression here in that glove. Say we're done. It is convenient that Deepfried did find that bow, and then conveniently the bush crabs are dropping 10 arrow packs, so nice little refill. Not the greatest item, but it's something.
It's certainly not nothing.
Old man giving us bombos here. Which again is a nice item, but we have no sword to even use it.
And we're definitely coming up on the moment of truth here on Deepfried's side. Are we going to get boots and the Dark World access, or are we going to get something that leads us a little further on?
Just the shield on top of Spectacle Rock. And the moment of truth, here we go. What is inside Spectacle Rock today? It is the boots.
Looks like a convenient save and quit point to me.
It's also time to go fast.
Deepfried going to pick up the Bonk Rocks check here, just another 100 rupees.
That tree right there that Deepfried just bonked, I've bonked on that quite a few times.
It is rather inconveniently placed, isn't it? It's almost as though the citizens of Kakariko Village thought, you know what, our kids have spent too much time running around this village, maybe we should put something in here to stop them and make sure they become concussed every once in a while. That seems like a really brilliant plan. Let's plant a tree right here so that future generations can have all of the concussions they want.
Permanent brain damage, courtesy of Kakariko Village and its citizens. Yoinkerswife is doing the mountain play as well. Eventually we'll get her boots, as Deepfried is going to go ahead and get us our first look into Dark World. unknown. That ice rod that we found in Ice Rod Cave may not even be important. I don't know about you, Mindium, but I always have a little bit of a sense of relief when I see that Swamp Pals is a crystal, because at least we know that at some point we're gonna find Hookshot. I'm a little afraid when I see that it's a pendant and I don't have Hookshot anytime soon. It's like, oh boy, what are we gonna have going on here?
No, that's probably my least favorite dungeon in the entire game because of the shallow water sound effect that follows you everywhere. I'll accept the potential danger of a hover seat or two in return for just not having to go in there.
For the nightmare that exists of shallow water. I like that. Deepfried is going to be going ahead in here. He's going to be making his way to pod. I got one question for you, Mindium. Are you going to be believing in pod today? Will there be anything good in here?
Well, there could be a bow-locked bow. That wouldn't be bad. Maybe a mirror so that you can go do other fun things, like not have a whole bunch of orphaned one-off checks in the Dark World. That's a nice thing to find, right?
I would agree. Also nice knowing the fact that, because the lamp is always going to be early in this mode, you never have to worry about dark rooms here.
Those that are interested, Eastern, Skullwoods, and Turtle Rock are our pendants. Tower of Hera and Ice Palace are our 5/6 crystals.
And because I actually paid attention for once, Lady Linda, I even know that green pendant is Turtle Rock, so there is still hope that that ice rod might be important if green pendant Turtle Rock has something that our runners need? Question mark. Or pedestal for that matter. Let's not discount that fact.
Yoinkerswife, with a little revenge on that blue guard there, says, now I have the hammer. Wonk!
In 2020 hindsight, her going through and doing this prior to going to the Dark World, especially if she has pod in mind, this is actually going to turn out to be an incredibly good play, because we'll find her bow in, I believe, Zelda's Cell.
And Deepfried is just a handful of screens away from showing us whether or not it's going to lead to another bow.
I'm hopeful. Well, there it is.
Would you look at that, Ed? Why is that there?
Why is that there? Yeah, all these modes that the admin team came up with for the whole AVIANART tournament. These modes are fantastic. Each one of them with its own specific memes. I mean, I love it. I think this is fantastic.
They're pretty fun, right? That really was the whole point. It wasn't, hey, what kind of terrible modes can we convince people to sign up to play? It was, hey, what kind of fun, goofy things can we say, hey, y'all want to come play this? It's kind of fun.
I mean, I find myself, whenever I start playing Seeds now, I find myself basically asking the same question of why is that there? Whether it actually applies to the construct of the settings of this mode, maybe not necessarily important, but basically I just love the concept of saying to myself, why is that there?
Video game logic, please. Looks like Deepfried is trying to set up for a hammer jump here, but is having a little trouble finding the pixel in question.
Gotta have that big key first, which we know will be in the dark maze here. It's always, big key's always right there. No, it's not this time.
It does feel like it has a very good chance, once it's in the dark maze, to be in that bottom right-hand corner, rather than the top left-hand one. But not this time.
Just a minor inconvenience is just have to walk all the way back here to the big chest here. And aside from that bow, I don't believe we've gotten much of anything important.
Just rupees and a piece of heart.
Yeah, so I mean, silvers and everything is nice, but you know, for anybody out there that really believes in pod, especially if you're looking for some sort of progression, well, we haven't found it here.
No, just a convenience item and a crystal at the end of it.
Something could still be on Helmasar. We won't discount that, but you know, it's either pod has literally everything, or unfortunately has nothing, and it might be going to the latter half here.
Now, there's a trick on this this drop that Deepfried is doing. If you turn and point your sword in the other direction, you can hop down and you'll just poke them all off the ledge.
Yep.
Rather than doing fighter sword poke damage and maybe getting yourself soft locked or hopping on and then getting bodied by the hard hat beetle. Oh my. Nothing about that went right for Deepfried.
Well, see, originally I thought Deepfried was going to end up setting up a death warp in the dark maze. So I guess I'll just look at it as Deepfried just eventually got that death warp that he was looking for.
It was a very delayed death warp, yeah. Yep.
So as Deepfried is going to be making his way to Helmasar here, and Yoinker is following close behind. If you like what you see here, give these runners a follow here. Deepfried87 and Yoinkerswife here, joining us here for the AVIANART tournament. As my name had said earlier, two relatively new runners, but very good runners, putting on hopefully a good show for you guys. So if you like what you see here, please feel free to give them a follow. I know they'll very much appreciate it. And yeah, they're putting on a good show, and I'm enjoying my time here.
They've gone about it slightly differently, but even still, half hour in, we've got both runners in the same dungeon with functionally the same things done. Deepfried also not really getting the cooperation he wanted from those terror pins. But here we are, 1 Helmasaur King fight, 17 hammer hits to the mask, as long as you're not doing anything fancy like throwing a couple of bombs first. And then 1 silver arrow to the jewel, like so. Easy game, right?
Nicely done. Yeah, who does? You know, who does like to try to do weird things with Helmasaur? All for a piece of heart, so not much, no progression here was found in odd.
It's a crystal. You had to do it eventually anyway. You had all of the things necessary to full clear it, so there's not a good reason not to go ahead and take it off the board, I don't think. Especially with Eastern Palace being a pendant dungeon, you're unlikely to want to come back to this area anyway. So, what is this going to be from Deepfried, do you think? Just straight into the Village of Outcast Thieves Town place? So we've got a pendant on Skullwoods, or is it Deepfried those believers that Skullwoods is an overworld-style play, and it's one of the highest percentage plays you can make for whatever weird reason for the rando.
Oh, if he'd been watching anything that I do, he'd be a Skullwoods avoider, but I would kind of think that, you know, at this point, because of the lack of progression that we do have here, doing a Skullwood dive here would not be a bad play, and it looks like that is what Deepfried's going to go ahead and do. It is also worth noting that even though we know where the Fire Rod could be based upon this mode, Fire Rod actually is potentially not required for this seed at all.
Yep, the lamp will get you through all of the dark rooms, and with Turtle Rock and Skullwoods as pendants, yeah, Fire Rod may just not be a cause for concern for our runners today.
Maybe Bumper Ledge here has our silver edition of Pegasus boots here, or just 3 bombs. Even though silver edition Pegasus boots, limited edition, do not exist. I always like to think that it possibly does.
Well, there are some modes where you start with boots and then you find boots, and I've always been a little disappointed that you then don't get to go 4 times as fast, but yeah, it is what it is.
And imagine going 4 times as fast in this game. If you thought I bonked a lot as it is, oh boy.
Now, Ed, you know that there is a category for 2 times speed in MG, right? You turn your emulator up to 2x rate and then you play the video game. It's pretty hilarious.
Might be something I might have to try sometime.
Just don't do it before any game that you care about, because it's likely to do very strange things to your brain and your muscle memory for playing this game. So I've heard from people who have made attempts on that category in the past, anyway.
This game already puts a strain on my brain as it is anyway. Not gonna change. It's not gonna change anything. Then again, it is very simple to say, you know, I have to have a brain in order for me to have my brain stressed out, so. Which, that has not been proven the fact yet. Oh, we got ourselves red mail. Yoshi just turned into a nice shade of red here.
Sadly, with the mail upgrade, not able to breathe fireballs.
Yeah. Oh, good, a mushroom.
Video game, why is that there? now that I've seen both runners do it, allow me to make a little side commentary here. When you're going to shoot the Helmosaur King in phase 2 with the silver arrow, you can continue holding B when you go into the menu and get your silvers out and not have to release your spin before you shoot the stick. Which can sometimes save you, because when you enter phase 2, sometimes Helmosaur King's just going to move first, and then you miss.
Yoinkers is going to go ahead, actually, and she's going to walk out of here, walk and dash out of the pod area. Looks like we might be getting a look at Pyramid Ledge and maybe Catfish.
I would think both Pyramid and Catfish. It's tough to justify walking back out from pod for one check, but maybe with two? Maybe with two you feel alright about doing it?
Could also be the fact that, you know, because pod did not have much for progression, really just the silvers. She just might be buttoning up these checks just in case if there is something here, like we had mentioned earlier, possibly a mirror, hook shot, even the mitts, flippers. You know, all
this red
things that
mail
give
is
us-
coming in clutch for Deepfried right now, by the way.
Yeah, yes it is. And those, what would you call them? Lizards, iguanas, green creatures,
Crickets. They're kind of
Crickets.
cricket-like.
geckos, or geckos. You know, maybe all those can save 50% on your insurance.
I wonder if you took one of those to Zora, if you could save 50% on the Zora check.
Oh, if only that was the case, I'd be a happy man. Now, contrary to the actual mode as far as the mechanics that it works, if there is progression on Catfish, I would imagine that Yoinkerswife might be going through and saying, why is that there?
And it'll be interesting to see how and when Deepfried may go about trying to route these in. Unless the mirror appears, it would have to happen separately from the mushroom check. And the mushroom...
Ooh.
Oh my.
As stated, why is that there? Even though that is not part of the prerequisite of this mode, flippers there is a very... That feels very dirty.
That is a dangerous location in a situation like this, particularly if the mirror does not show up. Or at least does not show up in the near future.
Yeah, I mean, even those flippers logically would make the mirror possibly be locked behind there, whether it be Ice Palace, once our runners do find mitts, or even logically through Waterfall Ferry, or even Zora's Ledge. As Deepfried does get his second crystal here. I believe really just walked away with red mail, which again, as you mentioned, came in clutch.
Yeah, that mushroom is going to be the outlier that we don't know about for a little while yet, and yeah, I don't know how much else Deepfried really has here. Going to go ahead and go to Dig Game and probably visit Stumpy, but after that, there are only so many things available.
Alright, Stumpy, what we got? cash money. Gotta get that money.
Just get the money.
Get the money! And again, you know, this looks like Deep Fried is going to actually go ahead and now route in Pyramid and Catfish. Again, the lack of progression probably makes him want to go ahead and do this, because we really have not found anything to further progress our way into the video game here.
Yeah, with the boots, with the Moon Pearl, could go ahead and sequence break some flipper checks instead, but says, nope, I'm going to stay in logic, I'm going to find what the game wants me to have, and once I have that, then maybe I'll go ahead and do some of these out of logic things to try and get the sequence break and speed the game up a little bit.
Imagine staying in logic. I believe we're actually going to be getting a more in-depth look into Skull Woods on Yoinkerswife's side versus Deep Fried. I believe Deep Fried got that first item and just bailed out. Oh, and the Cane of Samaria is the second item. Woohoo!
Okay, so with Misery Mire being a crystal, that is required, and if you're Deep Fried, when are you going back for that? Because you're about to find flippers here, which is going to give you not a whole lot in the grand scheme of things, but it sure seems like Deep Fried is trying to stay within the logical chain for the moment. So very likely to follow the flippers that he's about to get here.
Yeah, these flippers, currently the flippers really only open up Man Under the Bridge. Man Under the Bridge, Zora's Ledge, and Waterfall Fairy.
Yeah, it's just... What is that? 4 new checks? Whopping
Yeah.
4 new checks? Alright, well, here we go.
It does have enough money for Zora, but Zora is in logic just with the mids, not necessarily the flippers. Flippers if you don't have mids, but if you have mids, Zora is in logic. So if he goes through with all these checks, he does have 5 available items here. Theoretically, we should be finding our next level of progression. Master Sword. To my knowledge, I don't believe either of our runners looked at Lumberjack, so, you know, this could be an Agaseed again, question mark.
Could be an Agaseed after all, and the possibility exists.
Hey, mind him, imagine not being in Sword Go mode.
Right? Must be nice. Oh, here we go, and behind this cape, behind these flippers, the cape, another one of those, hey, here's your Aga Access Care Package items.
Yep. We do know Bumper Ledge does not have anything, but that cape is nice even for an invincibility stand. Excuse me, invincibility stand. Now, seeing that Bloomerang on Zora's Ledge and me having the flippers, me personally, I get that every day. Does Deep Fried do it?
I don't know, I think our runners already have the red one. One Boomerang is usually good enough for any given runner.
No, that blue one is so much better. So much better. Oh, God. I will go out of my way for that Bloomerang.
Ed, you sound like an NMG runner.
For somebody that's never run an NMG seed, yeah, I'm an NMG runner. Deep Fried is gonna, Deep Fried never went to Uncle. Did the front of Escape, did all of Escape, but never went to Uncle. Finally checking to see how the old man is doing after 48 minutes. Now, unless I really am missing something here. Well, we do have the mushroom. The mushroom is the wild card here, but unless I'm really missing something. If the mushroom does not have anything, there must be something on Lumberjack.
Yeah, whatever's at the end of that mushroom chain is going to be it if it's not on Lumberjack, unless Lady Linda seems to be lighting up. I wonder if we're being dinguses again, Ed.
Oh, absolutely.
Nope.
I mean, you can tell me that I'm a dingus. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I
There's
fully
plenty of
accept my
truth
fate.
in that for, I think, the both of us. Ed can speak for himself, but I know that I've been guilty of it.
Oh, that's right. How could I forget about this? That's right. Part of why is that there? The chain of events that has here when we find the mushroom leads to the shovel. The shovel is going to lead to the magic powder. And we're not going to talk about what the magic powder leads to. It leads to a check that nobody likes to do. Well,
It leads to safety. One of the best safeties in the game, except no substitutes.
exactly. You know what? That's well said right there. That is well said.
As one of my personal favorite commentators, Dr. Bob, likes to say, it's my favorite item in the game. It's not close. I don't have a problem. Yoinkerswife having a little time with blind here, but just needs one hit, and that red male's putting in work again.
Alright, come on. Magic Bat's always useless. Just go rush Aga. Exactly. Thank you.
Yep, Magic Bat is indeed useless, and it looks to me, Ed, like we've got an Agaseed all of a sudden.
Well, you know what? I know homemade beer, which again, big thanks to homemade beer and all the admins that run this tournament here. But since again, to my knowledge, nobody's looked at Lumberjack unless Deepfried's gonna go ahead and look at it. Oh, you should just go blind do Aga, and we can come up with what progression item is gonna be here. So Minium, real quick, what do you think? What do you think is gonna be here?
Hookshot. Give me Hookshot.
I'm gonna go mirror. Blue goo. What did we miss?
Ed, we're
What did-
wrong, and...
What did we miss?
Yeah, okay, so...
Oh, Eastern. Eastern has one item
right,
on
there's an
Armos.
item on Armos. Yep,
Oh.
and
And
everybody
Spike
wrote
Cave.
it off because we thought, oh, it's a bow-locked bow there, right? And it's not.
Yeah, and Spike Cave. Actually, yeah, that's where Deepfried's going. All right, so where's our progression going to be at? Spike Cave or Armos Knights? You know, I'm going with Armos Knights.
Alright, just to be contrary, I'll say Spike Cave then.
And we all know you're going to be right here because I'm usually wrong. Because if it was me running, I would have rushed Armos Knights for the lulls. Find out that that's not my progression, and then still find a way to last locate because, well, that's what I do. Hence my lessons on last locating. Ah, there it is. The hook shot.
Yeah, don't worry, Ed. When it had come to that point, I would have rushed that too, rather than going back up the mountain thinking, well, it's going to be something that gets me more mountain access, so I'd really not like to do another mountain climb. So let me just go ahead and do Eastern first, and yeah, I would have been wrong.
I mean, I'm used to being wrong. I'm wrong all the time. Yoinkerswife going into the magic shop before turning in the mushroom. I appreciate that strategy of trying to get the item here. Get that shovel. The Ace of Spades.
No, I'm pretty sure that's just the Spade of Spades.
Speaking of, we do get our mirror here, so now the progression is starting to come along here.
Is this where you go ahead and rush Swamp Palace? Or are you waiting to try and find that outstanding big key for it first?
I believe they actually just got that ice. Well, they
That was an Ice
for
Palace
Swamp
key,
House.
yeah,
Yeah,
Swamp.
yeah. Well, first I would actually go ahead and do Hera here first. Also considering that I believe we did find the Hera Bicky. In
Yeah, that was
Saha's
in
Closet.
Saha's Closet, I think. Yeah.
Yes. Put it this way, if I'm wrong, I know Lady Laura Linda is going to come in here. I might be wrong. I see her. Hello.
You're not. You are correct. It was in
Wow.
Saha's closet.
Wow. See, look at that. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. That's even how I feel about this.
You know, that's a saying, but what happens if the reason the clock is broken is because the hands have fallen off? Then it can't be right at all, because it's not telling any time. Or if it's a digital clock and it just doesn't have power, then what?
Well, then I'd be right all the time, because if it has no power, it's not emitting anything, and because there's no thoughts, no actual good thoughts coming from my mind as I speak, because, again, it is not a proven fact that I have a brain. It could very well be that I'd be a digital clock. A broken digital clock is just me right all the time. Can't be wrong. Not the greatest logic, but you know what? It's my logic.
Oh, it looks like Deepfried is going to use the newly discovered Hera pot version, the Lord Raiden pot, where you only have to place the bomb in the correct position and then walk backwards into the explosion, and you're good to go. I didn't think that anything was ever going to come along and kill Philippot, but that has absolutely killed Philippot for me. It is as free as a trick is going to get in this video game. I'm not saying you can't screw it up, but it is nearly foolproof.
Oh, the moment I start trying to use it, I'm sure I can find the...
You're saying that you are the better idiot that someone built? I understand.
There's ways something simple can be broken. I'm your man. Down goes Moldorm. That'll be our third crystal here. And we get Tempered Sword, a very nice luxury.
Very convenient item as our runners are beginning to approach that mid to late game state where you have to start worrying about maybe some of the more difficult bosses. Ice Palace, I would say, would be the big one on the menu here, with the Bombus Medallion and no Fire Rod as yet. Tempered Sword makes that fight a whole lot nicer than Master Sword.
Yes, it does. Also, too, worth noting that just looking ahead as far as when the moment that we do find our myths here, assume we find them anytime soon. Fire Rod, a location of Fire Rod is the biggest checks that are available is going to be in Ice Palace. Now, this mode, Fire Rod, is locked behind a fire locked location, so we have ourselves Land Mollison Desert, left side Mire, all of Ice Palace, and forgot, I think there was one other location that I'm not thinking of, but the only reason why I'm mentioning that is because Cane of Samaria is in Skull Woods, and Deepfried has already dipped into there and did not pick it up. I'd be curious when he will decide to go back there to get that Cane of Samaria.
Yep, that is one of the big outstanding questions at the moment. The other one is, what is Yoinkerswife going to get out of this play into Pendant Eastern for the second time? An item on the boss that is still of unknown provenance. And there are a few things that are still outstanding. I think at this point the flute is probably the big one. Now, from her perspective, it could absolutely be mirror, hookshot, fire rod, but I think of what we know, the thing we've got going on here is we do have to get to Misery Mire at some point, and that flute is still not in evidence.
I'll be honest, I'm really hoping that there's something really silly here in Eastern Palace. I'm really hoping.
What, you don't think that Cane of Samaria is enough of an advantage for Yoinkerswife? We could very potentially see Deepfried making a play into Caneless Mire here at some point.
Oh, I just like absolute silliness. I want to see. I think.
Oh, so you're on Team Chaos. I got it.
I am. I
understand.
Chaos. Listen, this is you know, with everything in the AVIANART tournament, they're all meme modes, so I kind of expect meme item locations. 6 silver arrows into Armos here. Just waiting to get back in position. Down they go for a bee in a bottle. That's progression, isn't it?
Well, you can turn it loose on the Ganon fight and see what happens.
I would like to do that. I'm pretty certain, you know, Ganon does not have any pockets, so if he gets stung by those bees, he may not have an EpiPen readily available. And that might be actually the true weakness that we all didn't really think about. Yoinkers is going to go ahead and basically last locate that hook shot. We're going to go ahead and we're going to finish up this check here. Ice Rod Cave, which, as we saw earlier, is an Ice Rod. Almost makes me wonder, is this even randomized?
Well, it is, but you should also wonder why it's there. Of all possible places. I feel like I blinked and missed everything that Deepfried found in this dungeon.
The only thing that I noticed that the myths were there, but with this mode that there's always myths. And a sword in here. I didn't even see what that was. I saw too many explode. A shield. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I think it was just Mitts, but I don't believe Deep Fried went ahead and did left side swamp either, so.
He didn't. It was rupees other than the mitts, but there's 2 items still in there.
And he doesn't care. All right, so
He's like,
Mitts,
I'm out of here.
yeah, says Ice Palace next. Why not?
Again, Lady Laura Linda coming in the clutch for at least me being a dingus. Thank you again. God, she is, I'm telling you, she is fantastic. Even without her actually formally tracking, she is tracking. And she's probably also tracking how many mistakes I've made. So this is absolutely fantastic. I love it.
And this is why I try to say, you know, we never really do give the trackers enough love. Everybody notices the runners. The runners are the ones on screen. They're the ones you're watching. The comms are pretty obvious. We're the ones doing all of the talking. But it's kind of nice in a little more of a relaxed setting here where we can just have the tracker on the broadcast with us and just kind of pipe in from time to time. So y'all know that the tracker is out there and quite literally keeping us honest sometimes.
Now, I am curious about this play from Yoinkers. We've gotten 2 items here. We don't have a fire rod. I don't know if she miscounted. I think she just might have miscounted.
I'm curious about this as well. I'm wondering if this is I feel like maybe I miscounted this and has... I'm not sure if Yoinkerswife keeps a personal map tracker or not, so may not really have Spike Cave in mind here.
Yeah, that is. Spike Cave is something that could easily be forgettable. Yeah, Small P, yeah. She's probably wondering. Yeah, I know that feeling of the little pause of saying, what did I miss?
What have I not done? Yeah, here's that stare at the map screen, thinking, all right, what have I neglected?
I mean, I even know I could say this from personal experience. And I know it probably sounds very silly. When it comes to Spike Cave, I think of Cane of Burner first. Because Bumper Ledge usually, like when I think of Cape, I immediately think of Bumper Ledge, and then I just kind of like forget about it. You know, so to me, it is very possible that it's just a check that is just neglected here. And as Deepfried87 is going ahead and progressing here in Ice Palace, and Yoinkers, I believe, has figured out that Spike Cave is the issue. We got ourselves a raid from a Rabid Wombat, raiding with a party of 1. Welcome. We have ourselves the AVIANART tournament here. A matchup between Yoinkerswife and Deepfried87 in the mode of why is that there?
Yep, this is a group stage race. We are just a couple of days into the group stage of this tournament. Our runners have a pretty decent chunk of time to get all of their group stage matches in, but a lot of people have already been getting things going here in the first couple of days. Oh, look at that, Deep Fried with the other mitts there in Ice Palace. So that would be the second progressive glove, and the straight up mitts, of course, being placed in Swamp Palace in this mode.
That is actually kind of hysterical.
One of those silly logical possibilities only because we have placed that non-progressive Titan's mitts in Swamp Palace very specifically.
I did notice, though, on Deepfried's side, an important item that might at some point lead him back to Skull Woods, even if we don't find a fire rod here. He did find the Skull Woods big key.
Ah.
To my surprise, still no fire rod here in Ice Palace.
It doesn't have to be here, it's just that the odds usually say that it probably is.
Nice tea here provides to us a Triforce piece.
Ed, why is that there?
Because of structural mic.
Okay, that checks out.
I do have to mention that when we were doing the asyncs for these qualifiers, and the first one that we did was is this even randomized? I believe that's what it was. It was the first mode that we had, and when I was doing the Ganon's Tower climb, I happened to find a random Triforce piece, and I scratched my head to myself. I'm like, wait, what? Why is that there? What's going on here? And it was pretty funny. It was a pretty funny troll. I liked it.
I did mention at the time in the admin channel that it's kind of a shame we're not running this on the Archipelago branch, where it's possible to have a Triforce piece plus Ganon goal. That's one of those things that I've continued to be a little disappointed has not been implemented in any of the more, shall we call them, major branches of the randomizer.
That would be interesting. And again,
Because
with
then
that
you could
explosion,
make it something like a 3 of 4 Triforce piece goal and Ganon.
I like the way you think. Start developing, please.
So Deep Fried just got the flute.
Ah, that's what it was. All right. Thank you. I could not even see that. See, look at that. Lady Lord Linda coming in the clutch. Thank you again.
Yeah, and that's going to be one of those potential danger items because now Deep Fried has no real reason not to just head for the mire area, see about being able to access the dungeon, and if access is not Quake, to just trot right on in. Of course, sans Cane of Samaria, which is still hiding out in the front of Skull Woods.
It is important to note, too, that with no Fire Rod in Ice Palace, and seeing as we do find both items here in Tower of Hera, Fire Rod is down, even though, again, Fire Rod is not required for this seed, but will be important at some point for Deep Fried to at least go back into Skull Woods to get that Cane of Samaria. Fire Rod is now down to either left side Mire or on Land Molison Desert. By the way, I said both items, actually all 3 items in Hera, because the big key is actually shuffled out here in the wild.
And it was Bombos for Mire, so Deep Fried is going to be able to go in, and even if it had been Quake, well, Quake is right under the doormat, and that feels probably not all that dangerous to Deep Fried, actually, because even if that gets the runners into Turtle Rock with no Cane of Samaria, it's not as though that's going to be a check you're going to make.
Yeah, that is correct. And so at some point, Deep Fried is going to get bottlenecked at some point here.
Getting some Hammer Moldorm strats here from Yoinkerswife. 1, 2, and ooh, that I disagree, video
close.
game. That now the worm is not cooperating.
Oh, yeah. Wow, just like Mini Moldorm Cave, Moldorms are not playing nice for Yoinkerswife today.
Moldorms of all sizes noted for their uncooperative natures.
Oh look, the Boots Lock Big Key in Desert.
Not its vanilla location, although it sure feels like it sometimes.
Yeah, that is the truth. Deep Fried can go ahead and rush to Landmo. So what do you think, Mindium? Do you think the Fire Rod is camping here?
Well, it could be, and if it is, it's another one of those things that might lead Deep Fried back over toward a place that we know he needs to go anyway. But at this point, I'm kind of expecting it to be on fire-locked mire.
To be different, I'm gonna say it's here on lane mode.
Never tell
Since
me
I'm
the
wrong.
odds, Ed.
Yeah, and since I'm wrong all the time, I mean, let's anticipate me being wrong here. 2 checks on left side mire versus 1 right here. I'll take my chances. Gonna break out those silver arrows, and there's 1, there's 2, and the 3rd one got away here. I don't think Landwell here stands a chance. Down they go.
Now, there is a reason why the only boss aside from Ganon that's really supposed to be available once you have silvers is not vulnerable to them, and that beats Trinex.
Yeah.
The other boss is
game
not
plays.
really meant to stand up to the magical ammunition intended only to end the reign of terror of the pig.
Alright, so since we did get a piece of heart on Landmo, at least we saved time. We did not have to do right side desert. We now know that the fire rod is going to be here in left side mire. And basically the fire rod at this point is really just going to be nothing more than a convenience for our runners. But just thinking ahead outside of, you know, the obvious of Skull Woods, which we do know the King of Samaria is at. Deep Fried is going to be basically having just the Dark Death Mountain Mitch check, so Super Bunny Cave and Hookshot Cave. And then just kind of a bunch of one-offs, I believe. Armos Knights, I know he hasn't completed yet. Skull Woods, but we already know that is the answer. And I think at that point, because Turtle Rock is going to be inaccessible, he is going to just be bottlenecked going back to Skull Woods at some point in the near future.
Well, there should be Pyramid Fairy as well, right? The Pyramid Fairy crystals are accessible.
That is correct. That is true. That's right. Tower of Hera and Ice Palace. Again, thank you to the knowledge. Deep Fried, you have to go back and get that small key that you left. Imagine picking up that pot and then not picking up the small key. Oh, we're gonna mirror instead. You know, this actually might be a time save. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead. Yeah, I mean, I like in 2020 hindsight, I really like this play because this is, you get 6 checks available to here, and if Deep Fried just kind of knows, he knows that he's just basically in Kane of Samari go mode at this point. Doesn't necessarily need that fire rod. So I like to play to go to density. That's where you think the items are going to be at, but you know, this game likes to play cruel and unusual jokes on us, and yet we still keep playing.
Yoinkerswife going for the classic diver down strat back here. That is not the way you'll see most runners do that trick, but that is, I believe, the original way that trick was discovered.
I believe you are correct there.
And I still have no idea how it works. I have no idea what runners are looking for to set that up, but it seems to work pretty well for the ones who do it.
I'll be honest, I was shown by Homemade Beer. Again, Homemade Beer being a fantastic runner, and again, thanks to him for putting this on here on the AVIANART channel. I know that he showed me, and I paid attention, and I said, you know, that's really simple. And then I just kind of like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to do it my way anyway, so shout out to being lazy.
Yeah, I have similar stories. It was my friend Kasten, I think it was, showed me how to Moldorm bounce, and then I went and learned how to hover because Moldorm bounce was way too inconsistent for me, and I then never bothered to practice it ever again.
No, come on, speak the truth. The reason why you learned how to hover is because you saw that I was able to start hovering, and you're like, oh boy, I can't let him be able to get one up on me.
I can't let me be the only person on my team completely incapable of hovering. Yes, this is also a true truth. Alright, Deepfried, what is the play here as Yoinkerswife pulls down the Swamp Palace crystal and is very likely headed for Ice Palace next?
Alright, cracks open that flute. Where are we going to be fluting to? Ah, we're fluting to 3. This could be the Smith chain, or it could be this search for that second item in Skull Woods. Be a very interesting play to see. Does he go north, or does he go south? We are going south. Never mind, we're going north.
Thought about going south and then decided against it.
Now he does. Now he has to. He either has. Oh, okay. He gets a small key here. That's good because now he's gonna be able to do these 2 checks here. Because I noticed that he didn't have a small key, so he's either gonna have to take that drop down, or he's gonna have to rob the small key, or go into the vanilla big key chest and get the key there. And he gets his Canis Samaria, so I believe that is go mode for him at 1 hour 22 minutes on the nose.
Not the worst go mode time, but you always feel a little bad having dipped a pendant dungeon, then having to go back and double dip it to find your go mode item. You think, my opponent probably found this earlier, right?
Yeah, I know, speaking from my experience in Skull Woods, I mean, yeah, I know it is overworld, but in a non-key sanity mode, I've always been on the believer of Skull Woods is a big waste of time until you get that fire rod. And more often than not, I seem to get burned by it. But yeah, I still do these silly decisions.
The normal count for the Skullwoods dungeon is 2, but because its big key is shuffled in this mode, it is 3.
Oh, that's right. That is correct. See, how dare I not know the full logic of this mode? Shame on me, sir. Shame on me. The nice pleasures of having a very early lamp in this mode. Never have to worry about doing Dark Mire.
Dark Mire's not all that bad when you have the hook shot in the boot, so you can do the bonk setup to really easily place everything you need. Yoinkerswife having a little trouble getting this 1 pixel left movement here to start the icebreaker trick, unfortunately.
Sometimes that trick can play cruel and unusual jokes, especially because it is basically a pixel perfect movement. Even take it from somebody like me, I just, me with my lazy strats. I just, I end up wasting a lot of blocks as it is. I believe with that Meyer completion, that is now all 7 crystals for Deepfried, so we're gonna be making our way to GT as Deepfried makes his way to GT. We got ourselves 2 raids here. Fear Agent raiding with a party of 127 and Pick 6 raiding with a party of 2. Welcome to the AVIANART tournament. We have ourselves a race here between Yoinkerswife and Deepfried87 in the mode of Why Is That There? And I am joined by my co-commentator, Mindiam, and the real MVP of this, Lady Lord Linda, who is unofficially tracking, but making sure that the dingus that I am, not making any more mistakes.
And between the two of us, we've made plenty, but Laura Linda's caught every single one of them.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, I would.
And yes, we are indeed in Fire Rodless Go mode.
Yeah, imagine not needing a fire rod in this mode. Imagine actually knowing where the fire rod is and saying, you know what, I don't need it. See ya. Alright, so we got ourselves a little GT Big Key guessing game. If anybody out there actually wants to throw numbers in chat, be our guest. This is very informal for all I care. You can throw numbers in after Deepfried has found the Big Key. But at least I'm going to keep it fair, and I'll make a strategic guess of number 10. What do you think there, Mindiam?
Oh, I think the seed's probably played about all of the tricks it's going to play here. Let's go 5.
Oh, 2 small keys in Hope Room, man. He has no interest in doing Compass Room. I like that. I like that strategy.
Hope left? Really? A classical rando GT route? Now, you'll often see people who get 1 or 2 small keys there and go right to Compass Room, but it's not by any means required.
There we go. Stalfos Room. Oh, we're gonna get all the small keys out of the way.
The compass is not in Compass Room? Why is that there?
Yeah, why is that there? And 20 bucks. We press on. What a shame. Homemade Beer was wrong with his prediction of number 4. What a shame. If I didn't know any better, I'd say that GT is just nothing but a junk fill.
Well, Ed, that's because usually GT is nothing but a junk fill.
truer statement couldn't be said.
It really makes you wonder, though, doesn't it? Ganon, with the golden power in his hands, has the Dark World as his own personal realm, and what does he choose to fill his tower with? A bunch of trash.
Yeah, I know.
Why is that there?
Well, why is that Swamp Palace Big Heat in GT as well? I even got a little trolled. I saw Big Heat and I was like, oh, hey, there it is. No, it's not. All right, check 10. Come on, be the winner. I'm wrong once again. Well, we got all 4 small keys. And there it is. Big Key to GT. Check number 12. With that flute that Yoinkerswife did get from Ice Palace, she too is actually going to be in go mode as well.
Our bow-locked bow today was in that classical bow-locked bow location, Palace of Darkness. It in fact was neither of our runners' first bow. The first bow for both of them was in Zelda's Cell. Ether Strats in the Gauntlet. You'll love to see it says, you know what, I don't feel like playing around with this room. I'm just gonna make everything go away.
Makes it really nice and easy and convenient.
Unfortunately, it only works on the Stalcos. If you want any of these other rooms to go away like that, you have to break out Bombos. And Bombos is not nearly as quick of a medallion.
Yeah, Bombos is a little too slow.
It is also a bit of the backup strat because, again, Deepfried never did pick up that fire rod.
Very nice lane mode 2 there.
We almost had dueling Landmos, but Yoinkerswife is still a couple of screens away from Landmo 1 here.
Deepfried is making real quick work here of the climb here, doing an excellent job.
You say that, and then all of those Tauros almost bullied him off the bullied him off the bridge there. That would have been a very classic commentator's curse. Why is that there?
Yeah, why are they there? Why is that there?
And Deepfried
Oh,
now
Deepfried
remembering
just-
one problem with not picking up that fire rod is you have to do the full lamplight torch strat here in Torches 1.
No, you just want to give those enemies in the other room just a big neener, neener, neener. As he went away.
And this is
It's,
not always the easiest thing to do on lamp only. You have to be fairly precise about it.
Yeah, the timing is important. It's also worth noting. Yeah, I was just going to say he was running a little bit low on health, so taking no chances here. Going to consume a blue potion.
This one looks good. Ought to have plenty of time to get through the door now.
I cannot tell you how often using lamp I fall down that.
You just
that
pitch
little
yourself into the
breakaway.
hole and you have to climb
Yeah.
back up the stairs and do it again.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
I've done that way too many times.
Once it had happened to me a few times, I started looking into just how far away you could be, and you have a lot more room to work with than you think you do. The lamp has a much larger splash radius than you really think it does until you stop and look at what happens when you use it. Oh, and the worm turns.
I think the worm is forgetting that the mold arms are causing Yoinkerswife havoc earlier. So I guess this one wants to put up a fight here, thinking that this is Yoinkerswife. There you go. Down goes Moldorm 2. Now, does he check validation chests? He better. Oh, no!
Oh, yeah.
Can't expect Kool-Aid Man to just barge out of nowhere here. Alright, now we make our way to Aga 2, where we have actually 3 versions of Aga. 2 are fake, 1 is real. But they all throw out something. That looked like it might have been a triple there.
That might have been a triple there. That had
that
double
was definitely
potential,
a 0.
but definitely a 0. Not a 0, though. It's not one of those little flying bomber Paraguma guys. It's a 0, as in none.
And down goes Aga 2. So all that is left here is for us to slay the big pig. The convenience of finding that cape here, we're going to be able to use that. And I do believe that Deepfried does have, I believe, 1 more potion. If need be, but probably going to equip the cape here. 12 more sword slashes to Ganon to complete out phase 2. Nicely done. Now it always feels like, 50,000 warps. Ganon just will not stand still, ever. Yes, Ganon, we have your silvers. We have found that bow in a bow-locked pod. Gets a nice torch glitch here.
Really more of a just-in-case kind of thing when you have silvers, but it's a little more convenient when you don't have the fire rod to go with it.
That's right, and down goes Ganon. So guys, get your GGs in chat for Deepfried87.
Who, upon coming to that bridge and crossing it, is going to take this race in the group stage. Let's see, race time 1 hour 38 minutes and 14 seconds is the official.
Yoinkerswife complaining out Meyer here is going to be making her way over to GT here. Nice to see that. Looks like she wants to finish this because this is the whole idea behind this tournament. Not only is it to be a meme, with meme modes and everything, but this tournament I've seen more than any other tournament. This is literally all about fun. I mean, I've I've had a blast participating in this tournament. I look forward to getting my group races in. I look forward to hopefully be able to commentating some of these, and hopefully be able to restream so we can get the word out for the AVIANART tournament here. This has been an absolute blast.
Yeah, it sure seems like everybody has gotten into their little groups and started doing their scheduling, and we're hearing a lot of true pot hunt, and well, I don't really care for this mode, but how about that mode? And I kind of like them all. Why don't we just throw a complete random number generator at it and play whatever pops up? So, yeah, we've got a little mix of everything. There's very clearly something for a lot of different runners here. And not everybody has to like everything, but you can still get right on with the video game. You get to make your pick, your opponent gets to make a pick, and it's been pretty good thus far.
Yeah, just the whole admin team and the whole everybody that's been affiliated with the AVIANART as far as to get this up and going. It started off basically just as an idea to see if people are interested, and it's actually, we've gotten a great amount of turnout, a lot of runners, a lot of volunteers, a lot of people that want to see this succeed, and I'm happy to be a part of it. So to everybody here affiliated with this, you know, definitely Homemade Beer, Structural Mike, Cody. Hi, I'm Cody, who does a lot of the behind the scenes work, and I know there's a lot of people I'm missing, but just to name those that I know of, thank you guys so much for putting this on. This has been it's been a pleasure to do, and look forward to the completion of it.
Yeah, and Cody is definitely the big one for people who are not familiar with the behind-the-scenes goings-on. There was a point in time where Mike and Beer were going to pre-roll a whole bunch of these seeds, and we were going to have to pull them off of spreadsheets and give them to runners, so we were going to have to actively administrate things and make sure that we marked off used seeds and all that. And then Cody came along and said, hey, how about I just build you all a front end on a website and we can roll everything through there and not have to worry about it. And yeah, so Cody is kind of amazing, and it wasn't even a day later he said, here, does this look good? It's been crazy, and yeah, this tournament would not be what it is without it. All of the admins have done their part, but man, Cody has gone above and beyond the call of duty here. And we are joined in the booth by Deepfried87, the victor in this group stage game. Deepfried, how are you doing? How do you feel about this one, taking home game one?
That was a lot of fun. Honestly, when I heard you were going to be one of the commentators, that is why I started at Stank and went straight to Wicket.
Now, you see, that's not really my meme. I've just appropriated that from time to time from Homemade Beer, who was the one doing all of the technical restream work tonight.
Well, you were the first memer I saw do it, so therefore it's just getting passed along down a long line.
How about this? How about we just call it a big radical memer thing at this point?
I like it.
That's all we are here. So, no, yeah, GG's to you, Deepfried. I was a little concerned when you had dipped into Skull Woods and made one check, got one item out of there, and bailed. Shortly after, Yoinkerswife ended up going into there and found the Canis Samaria, and I was just kind of a little worried as far as when you might be able to go back there. But it kind of seemed like you're very bottlenecked at one point. You knew that you're in Canis Samaria go mode. You didn't need Fire Rot to finish the siege, since Skull Woods and Turtle Rock were both pendants. And then when you did make that final trip into Village of Outcast area, I thought for certain you were going to go ahead and do Smith Chain, but you said, you know what? You got that Skull Woods big key, and you got a couple checks there. You decided to make a venture into there and found your go mode there. So, just
yeah,
curious what
definitely.
You're about toward the tail end.
I was like, okay, I don't have to touch TR. I was like, if I'd have kept going in Mire, if I would have realized that I forgot to grab the small key out of the pot, I would have just been like, all right, I'm gonna YOLO Mire here and see if I can get it, you know, in Mire. And as I was, all right, so then I'm like, okay, you know what? Less likely. I kind of goofed. Let's just go and knock it out. The rest of the checks, Dark Death Mountain's my most dense. I'll do that. No. All right, looks like I'm doing Smith Chain. I actually thought Smith Chain at first, and then I went, wait a minute. I got the Skullwoods Big. I need to go back up and check there because I thought I was only leaving one item behind, but I forgot with the mode that there was an extra item in Skullwoods because the big key wasn't there. And I went, Skullwoods has burned me too many times. I'm going to check it next.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, I literally when I saw you flute to the when I saw you flute to 3 and go into the Dark World, and I saw you go down south, I literally looked away for 1 second and said, oh, this looks like it's gonna be a Smith Chain play. I looked the Yoinkerswife side to see what she was up to. I look on yours and I'm like, out of nowhere you're heading up to Skullwoods. I'm like, well, that was just a big debate. I like that. I like that a lot. So. Indecisions. Imagine having that in this game. So, I do have one other question. Yeah, I do have one other question for you. And be honest. Was there at any point that you're making checks into here, whether it was mode related or not, where you kind of went to yourself and said, "Why is that there?" You know, for example, Moon Pearl on Library. Thinking, well, you know you're gonna have boots, but where are they? You know that's gonna be in an overworld scoutable location or in Hookshot Cave.
And it can't be in Hookshot Cave, so it had to be over scoutable. And I went, okay. When I checked Gina before Desert, I went, do I need book? No, I don't need a book. Okay, that means it's either going to be up the mountain. Maybe I need mirror because I was thinking about on spec rank, and I'm like, wait a minute, in spec rank is also possible. Let's see if I'm on a mirror hunt or if they're just right there. So I went. So yes, when I saw that Moon Pearl, it was just like, okay, that's there. Where the heck could my boots be? And that's just kind of where I ended up like beelining, trying to figure out my boots info.
Yeah, no, that ended up being a good play there. I know that you're with your St. Houlihan and then eventually just going right to Eastern. You're the first one to get the glove, in which, by the way, it is worth noting that it was a very good strat from you. I know you encountered a little bit of trouble in that vanilla big key room, but you knew enough to get out, come back in, reset the pots, and start slaying everything back down. And it turned out to be a very important play to get that first glove in the Eastern Palace big chest. Because ultimately getting those boots and eventually that Moon Pearl was a pretty sick logic chain.
Yeah, that was. And whenever I start with bombs, I like doing Saha, and I'll dip Eastern if it's a pendant, just because what I like to do if I get early bombs on there, if I can get it before going to Cat. Yeah, and as I'm seeing Yoinkers now, I completely forgot I didn't have the Fire Rod and Torches 1, and I'm just like, oh, wait a minute. Muscle memory's taking over here. Ooh. But yeah, that was, and I'm really glad because when I found that bow, I'm like, oh god, there's an item on it. Please don't let there be an item I need on it. I am never going back to it. That is my last location.
Well, for what it's worth, Yoinkerswife ended up doing that because we believe, Mindy and I were making the assumption that she kind of forgot about Spike Cave being logical once she got that cape. So she did actually go ahead and finish out Eastern, so all you ended up missing out on was being a bottle.
Okay.
You know, which would have been nice, you know, in case you wanted to use that B on Ganon. You know, that would have been pretty fun for the lulz.
Oh.
And alright, and Yoinkerswife does literally exactly what I said that I just do. I just literally just walk too far over when trying to use the lamp, and yeah, that looked like something I would do right there.
And with Swamp not having the big key and knowing that I had a map left, I forgot that Swamp big key gets added into that too, because I went, okay, I know my gold sword's here and I know I got a map and the big key, so I don't have to go back in left. And I keep forgetting in this mode that some of the big keys are shuffled until I get reminded. And I saw Swamp in what was it, in
Fire
somewhere in Jade. Yeah, Fire Snake Room. I saw a big key and I'm like, that
Well,
could have
alright,
burned me, but it didn't.
Well, let me ask you this: when you saw that big key, did you originally think, "Hey, that's a GT big key," until the text box came up and said, "Oh,
Oh,
look, you found a big key in
absolutely.
a swamp."
I'm just
Absolutely
waiting for
did.
the first restream we get where somebody gets their big key in GT in this mode, but it's for some other dungeon, but they're too fast on the draw and just mirror out. Because you know it's going to happen. It's just a question of when.
Yep.
Oh, don't jinx me. It'll probably happen to me.
See, now I know it won't be you, and if it is, it's because you're doing it intentionally.
That that is true. Actually, that is actually very true. I will have to say.
But yeah, these modes are a lot of fun. They're silly, they're enjoyable, and it's a neat break from your a little bit more competitive mode. So it's a lot of fun.
No, absolutely, yeah. And I even mentioned that earlier. That's what really drew me to this tournament is literally. I mean, granted, in the whole spectrum of things, all randomizer tournaments, all these tournaments are really designed to have fun. But yeah, you know what? There is that sense of competitiveness. I could finish in last in every tournament. I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't care as far as the result is concerned. This is literally nothing more than the memes and to have fun with some really cool divergences in the modes as far as what ends up needing to be done. So yeah, this is a lot of fun, and I look forward to seeing this whole tournament being run out.
Yeah, with going into GT with no fire rod too, I was just praying I didn't have to jump on the right side.
And Yoinkerswife going ahead and makes her way into Ganon, and gonna go ahead and slash the daylights out of him. Now she does, I believe she still does have that bee in a bottle. She should use it, because I don't think Ganon has an EpiPen readily available.
Very much using health as a resource here, although now dodging bats more than worrying about getting damage in.
That should do it right about. I think she's okay now. One more would be insurance policy. There we go. Two more, even better. That should be the end of phase 2. Taking a little bit more damage. Uh-oh. Drink the blue goo and use the bee. There's the bee. Use it. Use it. Yes. Oh, it's a gold bee too, nonetheless. All right. She must have heard my hails. Oh, look at all those bee stings that Ganon has. Oh boy. How funny would it be if he turned around and said, "Did you find my EpiPen in Ganon's tower?" No, Ganon. No, I did not. Now feel free to die.
Wasn't even looking for it.
Oh, be careful here. Be careful. Okay. I believe that's arrow number 2. Arrow number 3. And down goes the pig. Get your GGs in chat for Yoinkerswife here. She has crossed the finish line, but has yet to hit done in the race time room, still waiting. Maybe just not going to do it. So, yeah, we'll just go for the official time of 1 hour, 53 minutes, and 45 seconds from her timers. Again, GG's to Yoinkerswife. Let's see if she would like to come in for an interview. Deepfried, anything else that you found interesting in this seed? Well, as we are joined by Yoinkerswife. GG's.
GG's. Why was there a Triforce piece in the bottom of Ice Palace?
Because we had to ask. You had to ask yourself, why is that there?
That was like, I was like, what? That's okay.
I felt the same way.
I think it has something. I don't know the specifics on it, but as we are joined by Yoinkerswife. GG's. Something. No, actually, no, it wouldn't have anything to do with that. I think they literally just decided to put him in there. That's what I'm going to go with. Because we had to ask. You had to ask
And
yourself,
of course,
why is that there?
you know, since people were all, "Hey, this is a meme tournament, meme," I had to bring the bee to Ganon. That's okay.
Yeah, I did mention that
Felt the same way.
to Deepfried because he did not end up completing Armos Nights. I think it has something. You knew that there was an item left there, and you're looking on it, but I think it actually. And we're assuming that you might have kind of forgotten about. I think they literally just decided to put him in there. Thing. That's what I'm going to go with.
Yes. And
yeah, that was that was a very rude place.
People were all, "Hey, this is a meme tournament, meme."
I
have seen worse things there.
Yeah, I did mention
But,
that.
yeah, I'm running around looking for just anything for progression, and I'm just like, what am I missing? I'm missing something. There's something I have forgotten is a thing, and I finally pulled up the Dark World map to look around at everything. And I'm like, well, I did that. And as I'm closing out of the Dark World map, thinking, oh man, I guess I have to forfeit, I remembered Spike Cave.
Yeah, I mean, that actually, me personally, and I mentioned this when it came down to it, when I get Cape, I don't necessarily immediately think of Spike Cave as being, the place that I have to go to. When I get Cape, the first thing I think of is Bumper Ledge. And if Bumper Ledge has nothing, then basically I'm just like, well, I go on with my merrily way. If I get Cane of Burna is usually the indicator, as long as I have a glove and a hammer to say, hey, you should probably go out and check Spike Cave. So, I mean, I definitely could see the hang up there as far as, where the progression may lie. Especially considering it's such in a way it is an outlier check. You either you have to save and quit. You start at the mountain, you go up there literally to go to Spike Cave. More often than not, ends up being nothing. But in this case, that was literally the last locate that you had as far as progression was concerned. But even beforehand, I would have to be honest, I would have done the same thing as far as just going ahead and doing Armos Nights. I would have just said, hey, you know what? It's a meme tournament. Let's go kill a pendant boss. I know that there's an item on there. And when I saw that the bee in the bottle is there, I did specifically say, well, actually, Mindium specifically said, yeah, we're going to hopefully use that on Ganon. And we're very happy that you ended up fulfilling our request. So thank you very much for that.
Well, I was looking out for something I could do that was a meme. But, yeah, I definitely it grabbed onto that, and I was like, yes, gotta keep this.
No, absolutely. So but I don't know if either of you guys have any other thoughts on the seed. I know Deepfried had mentioned this to us, and the same thing, I've been saying the same praises. This tournament is literally designed for nothing but a lot of fun and having some memes, and hopefully you guys had a great time running this. I know I had a great time being on here on comms with Mindium and Lady Lorlinda, who did an excellent job of unofficially tracking, but yet tracking probably how many mistakes Mindium and I made as far as keeping track with you guys. So again, special thanks to her here.
Thank you for letting me join in.
No, absolutely.
I do want to say GG Deepfried.
GG's.
you really I literally forgot something and you didn't, and you won, and I am so very, very happy for you, and I really mean that.
Thank you.
And I want to thank Comms and Tracker for pulling our match out of the lineup to restream. I'm grateful for that. I like showing off how much I actually don't know about the game. No, I actually know a lot about the game. I'm just not very good at it. And I eh, I would like to remind everyone and everyone watching that you are the reason that somebody smiles every day. And today it was me.
As well said. Thank you. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, I'd like to echo what Yoinkerswife said and say thank you, Mr. Ed, my DM, for taking the time to calm us here, and Homemade Beer for putting this ridiculous tournament on, and Lady Laura Linda for pushing the buttons behind the scenes and being fact checker.
Oh, she was a good fact checker, let me tell you. She was on point, let me tell you. But yeah, no, it was a pleasure to have you guys race here. I know the whole AVIANART chat here and the entire community, the rando community that did get a chance to come out here. Had a blast with you guys running. I had a blast here sharing the booth here with my buddy here, Mindium, my buddy and fellow radical memer. This was an absolute blast, and I look forward to many more races here in the whole AVIANART tournament. So, Mindium, any last thoughts here for you?
Yeah, Beer and I are definitely keeping an eye out for more matches. If we can make it work with our schedules, we're going to try and restream just as many of these things as we can and as the channel will permit. It is nice, and I'm pretty sure that I got to say this off the hop, but I'll say it again. It is fun to me to be able to go ahead and put on the restream some of the people. There are names in this tournament who have been in the Brando community for years and years and years, and I think it's nice every once in a while to just be able to feature a couple of newer runners, maybe less experienced runners in this case, but by all means capable of putting on a good show, willing to put themselves out there so that everybody can have a little entertainment on their Tuesday evening or whenever they happen to catch the VOD later. And yeah, it's like Ed's been saying, it's a tournament for people to come out, have a good time, play some rando with their friends, talk about the game, just come out and have a little fun, have a good time. Isn't that why we all started playing the game to begin with?
Exactly. Quick question. I'm sorry. Where was the fire rod?
No clue.
It's left side Meyer. We don't know if it's cutscene check or the north check, but it's most definitely left side Meyer.
Thank you.
Yep, fire-locked fire rod being one of the rules for this, so we had a lamp-locked fire rod in this case rather than being in Ice Palace behind Bombos. Now, normally we've been trying to spread our raids around to general members of the community. However, in this particular instance, Speed Gaming 5's Speed Gaming Daily Race for the Link to the Past Randomizer Daily Race series is the mode you just finished playing. Why is that there? So, we're going to go ahead and send everybody over there. Thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out with us. Let me see if I can't figure out where my chat box went so that I can start this raid up.
Yeah, I could even say this much as he gets this ready. It's the Link to the Past Daily Race. We got Lana Bean, Professor Renderer, Mundugu, if I pronounced that right, and Brett Kuhn are the featured restreamers, with Alex Sadlitz and Captain MD as your commentators.
So yeah, if you enjoyed this, you're going to get something similar, but it's going to be shuffled around a little bit differently. If you need a little more rando in your life this evening, by all means, follow the raid right along there. Otherwise, come back here in the future. There will be more tournament action restreamed on this very channel coming soon. Just keep your eyes peeled. as usual, the launch raid button is hiding from me, but it ought to go off any second now. It doesn't give you all that long, and I can fill as much air as I need to. It'll just chop me off right in the middle here at some point, and then we can all have a laugh about it later, right?
Yeah, imagine technical things going on here. That's why.
Never happens. That's why we have beer. Beer's supposed to be doing all this technical stuff, but as soon as he says, "Hey, you want to set this raid up?" and I say, "Sure," well, let's see how it goes, right?
That's right. But no, mind you, Matt, this was, as we sign off here, again, this was an absolute pleasure. Thank you to you. Thank you to everybody in the AVIANART for having me on here. And I look forward to future races, including running a couple of my own. And thank you guys again very much.
Yep, there we go, kicking over to SG5. So we should be clear over here as long as beer has cleared us properly.